Silicon Valley, the land of tech billionaires and outrageous housing prices. However, on the underbelly of this thriving tech capital is a society of kids being raised in the shadows of their parents. With an average of 20 students and young adults committing suicide annually between 2010 and 2014, according to The Atlantic, this pressure is having a profound effect on youth in this area. Stefan Sujansky, the son of two Harvard and Stanford alumni, is trying to find his way through high school and into college with this pressure too.
I know my situation is far from unfortunate. I'm growing up in one of the wealthiest areas of the United States, so what's my problem? The truth is, all of these opportunities that I have been given are my problem. My dad was born in Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, and was forced to move to the US with his parents when he was 6 to escape communism. I remember hearing stories about how his parents came here knowing so little that they first, unassumingly, bought root beer at the store, thinking it was just cheap beer. Needless to say, his life was not as easy as mine.
In my early years, we lived pretty modestly because my parents were still, when they came to the United States, they had to redo some of their medical training. And during those years, they were certainly not making very much money at all. They were basically in school again.
Then, when he was 15, my dad lost his father to a heart attack. It had a big impact on his ambitions and education.
I think it probably motivated me more than I would have been otherwise, because I think at that point, not knowing anymore what his response would have been to my progress through life.
Despite all of the obstacles he faced, he went on to go to Harvard undergrad and Stanford Medical School. He's my hero, but I fear I'll never be as strong or smart as he is, simply because I never got that trial by fire.
It's not necessarily that they went to such high quality schools, but it's like where they came from.
This is my friend Derek. He goes to Woodside High School with me and is 16. He feels this pressure from his parents' successful pasts too.
And they didn't have very many they didn't have very many opportunities. Like, my dad left the house when he was 17, and my mom came from the ghetto in Oakland, and they both went to Stanford and UCSF and UCSD and are very, very accomplished people. So, it's kind of like I've gotten all these opportunities, so I feel obligated to go to college and actually accomplish stuff and graduate there.
I doubt we're the only ones who feel this either. Interestingly enough, though, my dad never felt that way, even though his parents had faced more obstacles than him.
I don't think it really affected it. I don't recall feeling that feeling any external pressure from my parents or anyone else that I needed to, because they had done well and gone to medical school and so forth, that I had to be a great achiever. I did feel like I needed to do well, and I wanted to do well in school, but I don't recall that being because of my parents' circumstances.
So, not only do I lack my father's real-world experience, but now I also find myself being motivated by something completely different than what motivated him. Maybe it was the fact that even though my grandparents had worked hard and came from nothing to provide for my father, he never had the luxuries I have now.
Their own families were pretty modest, especially my dad's. His parents were teachers, and my mom's father was himself a doctor, but in a small town, and they were both of modest means, and they actually grew up in Czechoslovakia and lived through the war, World War II there, and then through the communist years there, so they were not used to any type of luxuries.
So you kind of describe them as these very self-motivated people as well, especially,
I think so, yeah. They were both ambitious and smart, and they wanted to do something ambitious with their lives.
So that was it. The heart of what really drove me to do great things. I saw that the more blood, sweat, and tears that went into giving me the opportunities I have now, the more pressure there was on me to succeed. Those before me had already done all the work, so why shouldn't I be able to do great things? For Woodside World, I'm Stefan Sujansky.
Stefan Sujansky is a junior at Woodside High School and the politics editor for Woodside World, the student newspaper.